Alright guys and girls, today we have an interesting radio. It's a Hitachi, this is actually a navigation radio, and its primary use is, this specific one is for marine use. It's a marine navigator. The model is HW-1160. It's 11 transistors and it's a 4-band radio. It has shortwave, it has marine band, medium wave, and long wave. So it has a DF function right here, radio and DF function. Now the DF means direction finding, and it uses this antenna, and it's a very directional antenna. And similar use in aviation. There's a technique that's called a DF steer, and basically what a DF steer is you hone in on a radio station basically, and it's usually a navigation aid, but you could absolutely tune into, say, a local AM radio station in a certain area, and you can steer directly towards it. And in an airplane, there's actually a gauge, a needle that you would follow. With this radio, you actually turn the antenna and you read what it tells you, and if you get the strongest signal at 150, you would steer the bow of your boat. You would point the bow of your boat towards a 150 degrees. And that's basically how it works. And it somewhat does work here, but we do need to fix this radio. There is a problem. It looks brand new. I got a couple of radios from this sale, and they all look brand new, and one of them actually is brand new. But the problem with this one is someone left the batteries in it, so that caused a little bit of a problem. Not too serious, but what actually happened, let's open it up and you'll see. You can see a little bit here how you can see a little remains of the acid that was in there, but you see the positive terminal was corroded away. But that's, luckily that's all that happened. I was able to clean the rest of it out. So we're just going to replace that and see if it actually works. And this type, you can still use this type of navigation, but with GPS and the accuracy of GPS, these methods aren't used anymore. But it'd still be fun to play around with. I guess in an emergency you could actually tune a radio and steer towards a specific direction. It'd be I don't know for sure. I'm not too versed on marine navigation, but I wouldn't think that they use this stuff anymore. But I know in aviation they don't. Anyway, we need to find, let's see, what are we going to do? The first thing, I have a little cup of these little, let's turn that down a little bit, these little battery connectors. So we're going to see if we can find one in there that we can use for that purpose, to repair that and make that radio good again. Let's make it good again. I would think, by the looks of it, probably wasn't used very much, and more than likely there's nothing wrong with it other than that. It's possible that capacitors are bad, but as clean as this thing looks, something tells me it's just going to work. But we need to figure out how we're going to do that. So it looks like it's just a couple of Phillips screws, and we can actually take that whole piece out of there. Let's see. I wanted to do a, I've got this Zenith radio. I wanted to do that today, but couldn't find it. I know it's here somewhere. This radio that looked like a lunchbox. It's a very strange looking radio. But we'll find it, and we'll get to that one. But this will be a nice simple one today. And I guess we could just cut this off. Yeah, let's see. The wire is really short, so there's really... Let me grab it with a pair of pliers or something and just try to unsolder it. Because otherwise I'd have to replace the wire. It's so corroded, it may not heat up. Oh, no. A piece of it broke off, actually. It may not allow the heat from the soldering line to soak in. Oh, it did. Okay, that's good. Alright, let's see what we could do. Let's see. So it's just a flat, stay open. I mean, it's funny, this radio, the back is so stiff, because I don't think it's ever been used, that it doesn't even want to stay open. We have bunches of battery clips, and they were going to throw all this stuff in the landfill, and I was lucky enough to get it. It's kind of crazy that there's just so much. I mean, I can't keep everything, obviously, but a lot of this stuff I think is useful, you know, like things like these battery clips, and so, you know, I'm glad I took them, but would have been a shame to throw all this stuff away. Oh, this is actually that one. Well, I mean, any of these will probably work, but I think maybe this one, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we can figure out how to... Maybe we'll just glue it. Maybe we just glue it on there. We can solder the wire back on and just glue it down. I think originally it had a little... it looks like it... Let's get that wire right. It looks like it had a little rivet in there, but... Let's see. I like to get all that crap off there. Let me grab a paper towel here. So all the... whatever that is, magnesium or whatever that stuff is, falls on it. We can just get rid of it. Well, is that part of the... Yeah, look, see, it went on to the case bottom. See that? The little bit of corrosion right at the bottom of the chassis in there. Luckily, it wasn't any worse than it is. This could have gotten a lot worse. It did leak, but not terribly. You always got to take the batteries out of everything if you're not going to use it. You know, like, it's upsetting, you know, when you get something, and because I hate throwing things away. I would prefer to rebuild everything, and I know that's kind of impossible, but I'd sure like to if I could. So any time I see, you know, something that's wasted, and I've had a couple of radios that were destroyed by leaking batteries. So, but anyway. Yeah, see in there. I wonder if we can get any of that out. So that wasn't really that wasn't acid from the battery. That was or whatever the chemical is. That was actually part of the case that just kind of corroded off. Yeah, that's what that was. All right, let's get that done. I don't want to be breathing that crap in. So hang on a second. Let me get rid of this. Oh, you don't want to throw the screws away. Hang on a second. Hang on, I'll be back in 1 second. Alright, we're back here. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of rust on the bottom there, but I don't think... I'm just going to leave it alone. I don't think it's going to... I don't want to take this thing all apart just for that. It doesn't look like it really got anywhere else. So, I guess we could just put the wire back through. I'll see if I could solder it onto this new terminal, and we'll just glue it. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to glue it to, we'll glue it down to the plastic. Let's see. And it would be nice if it was just a little bit longer, but you know what? Hang on a second. I'm trying to get in here. Let me see if I can lift the front of it a little bit. It's got the handle we could use as a I guess not. Get out of there. Oh, there's more stuff coming out of there. Look at that. I wanted to get all that, because I upset it, you know, by scraping it. It's alright though. Alright, let's see. Alright. See if we can get that to stay up. We can get this wire through the hole. Come on, please. That wire needs to be just a little bit longer for... Oh, that's wire is breaking off. I may have to just replace that wire. It's just not sturdy enough because the acid has gotten to it just a bit. Let's see. Maybe we can just peel it back a little bit more. This radio has a interesting smell. I guess it's made out of leather. Is it leather? I'm not sure. It smells like it. It has that very old leather smell. Alright. So there's a serial tag right there. Oh, it's out of the frame now, but it's alright. We'll look at it in a minute. I just want to get, if I can, get that wire back through the hole. Maybe it would be better if we, here's the AM, or the antenna wire that was laying in the rust there. Let's move that over a little bit so it's out of the way. Let's see. Maybe we could just put this back. Maybe it'll be easier if this is in place. Let me see. Let's see. What's going on here? Let's see. Yeah, maybe it'll be easy if it's back in place. Let me put the screws back in that. And what do I do with the two screws? They're right here. Alright, let's see. They're different screws. I wonder, do you think those, yeah, those had to be the ones that came out of. That's the only ones that are here. I'm going to reposition the camera here in 1 minute. We'll stick it overhead here. So, is that the right screw? Yeah, it is. It is. It actually tightened down pretty good. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to swap the camera view here. So hang on a second. Alright, we're back. We're back. I think that'll be a little bit better. Get a little more light on there. This is not going to be the easiest thing. I know these people do this, but trying to get this stuff done and then be in the proper view and stuff. It's just so difficult. Let's see if I could turn it sideways. Maybe it'll be easier for me to get it soldered. And that wire is very short. It's long enough for what we need to do, but let's see if I can get it. If I can figure out a way to get that wire into that hole before soldering it. Because I can't get my hand in there to twist it. There's just not enough room. So if I can't, I'm just going to solder it to the end. I don't want to waste too much time here trying to do this. But if I can't, we're just going to... Yeah, there it goes. Alright. Let's go ahead and give it the old solder. Alright, let's see. I could see a couple of strands back on the other side, so we'll just solder both sides. Nope, we want you to stay up there like that. I added a lot of heat to that, so I'm going to get that to cool down just a bit. It's probably good by now. Yeah, there you go. So that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. And we'll go ahead and glue it down. Let's see. What kind of glue could we use? I guess we could use super glue. I use the gel, the super glue gel. We got a couple of tubes. And then we'll use that accelerator if I can find it. Here it is right here. We're going to use this accelerator right here. This stuff makes it actually makes it work a lot better. You just need a little, just get it on the Q-tip. You got to put it on, it says in the instructions to get it on one side and then put the glue on the other side. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see if this glue is any good. Yep, it's coming out of there. Alright. So we don't want it on the front, of course. I deposited a little bit of it on the front, but what are you going to do? Let's just get it. I'm assuming right over the... I've got to hold it down for... Of course, my finger is actually glued to the... It says to hold it down for like 15 seconds or something. There you go. Nothing worse than you get the glue on your hand and then you touch something that otherwise is in perfect condition. And once you touch that glue on something, it doesn't come off. It ruins it. But we're going to actually, here's that label I was talking about before. Let's move this over. This is that that label right here. I'm just going to glue it down because otherwise I'm sure it's going to wind up coming off. But let's put a little dab. Put a little dab on this side. Right on there. There you go. That'll work. So let's see, I guess we can give this radio a whirl. It's yeah, it's pretty solid in there now. Okay. Let's go ahead and put some batteries in it. We're going to go ahead and we have to switch the camera back. Let's put the batteries in first. We got some old Rayovac batteries. These batteries have to be at least 10 years old, maybe even more. So they did check on the voltmeter. They checked 1.5 volts. So we got some different, I don't know which ones are newer. Oh, these are the industrial, that's why. High energy. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just use the industrial ones. Alright, here goes nothing. Okay, they're in. This radio does not have AC power. I guess for navigational use. Let's see. Nothing. Well, that's not the... Unless those batteries are bad, that's not the result I was really looking for. Let's open that back up. Oh no, there you go. So maybe this one's dirty too. How's that one look? I didn't realize this one leaked. It does look a little, it's not shiny. So it must have had a little bit of corrosion on there as well. These little plastic things are junk. I mean, you can even see that they're stretching from the battery being in there. Let's see if that made it better. Yeah, it's definitely that one. It's definitely this one that's got not making good contact. Could get a Dremel in there, I guess. That's good. It's fine. All right, so let's move the camera over here, and then. All right, so here's the lovely radio. Could use a little bit of a cleaning on the, well, it's cleaning itself actually.
In 1984, talking about the San Francisco Democrats, she was Reagan's Democrat UN ambassador, and she was right. And we're doing this again. You got Tucker Carlson. I heard yesterday on just mentioned yesterday.
So I'm sure when you put it on the DF switch, it activates this antenna rather than the internal one for direction. Let's try it.
In Pittsburgh, if they're looking for the next head coach.
Right, so there it is actually.
I'm going to go on a hunch here, or go on a limb, I think is what it's supposed to. Yeah, I think that's right. Hunching is different. I think that we're not going to have...
So if you wanted to steer towards this station,
I think that
you would just turn it till it's the loudest, which is right about here, and it shows about 30 degrees. So that's basically it. That's how it works.
You had a guy who I think was overachieving.
And that's the internal antenna. Yeah, that's what that switch does.
And you did not want him there.
It's funny seeing this. Many years ago in the 90s, when I first started taking flying lessons, we used these types of navigation. I had to take my pilot test using VOR navigation, MDB. And it's you know, it's so weird now, and I'll be honest with you, part of the test you have to do a solo cross country, and I had to land at 3 different airports, and get checked in. And I got lost on the... I was on my way to Kingman, Arizona, which was one of my stops, and I got lost. And I had to ask for help. And I still passed because I got there and, you know, they signed me off. And I told what happened. I had to ask for help anyway over the radio. And my examiner had said because I did that correctly and I asked for help and I didn't do anything stupid, they passed me. So I got lucky on that one. But anyway, yeah, today with GPS, I mean... You turn it on, you put in a couple of waypoints, you put a destination, and you just follow the line. It's so much easier today, but the problem today is the lack of these old techniques. You know, if you lose power, if you only have one GPS unit and it fails, you know, a lot of times if you don't know these techniques on how to use other types of navigation, you know, you're stuck. You got to find somewhere to land, go to a Costco and hope that they sell a new GPS for you. Anyway, all right, so let's see what else this radio can do. It seems pretty let's see, well, long wave, I don't think there's nothing ever, we never have anything on long wave, but I got to turn this one light off. There's always so much noise in this room, but yeah, long wave never has anything. Nothing. That's what I thought. And then just AM. This seems like let's get it on radio so we don't have to worry about the direction. I'll tell you, this is a pretty sensitive radio.
Restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit office.
But you'd think it would be sensitive considering it's a navigation radio. We'll look at the chassis in a minute. Wow, there's a ton of AM stations on here.
Carlino.
I'd love to hear where some of these stations are being picked up from.
Signed up.
Where to watch it? There's no reason.
Wow.
Figure out.
There's a leaky port.
Let's see, I bet you shortwave is going to work great on this thing. There's a marine band. Let's go to shortwave. There you go. So the time, the atomic clocks. If you listen, let me hear this one. This is. Okay, so you heard that was a male voice. So this is kind of an interesting thing if people don't know this. There's a couple of stations that control these time servers, and one of them is actually located in Fort Collins, Colorado, which, by the way, my beautiful daughter lives in Fort Collins, Colorado. And if she happens to watch this video, I miss you and love you so much. I miss her so much. Anyway, yeah, it's located in Fort Collins, Colorado, and there's another station that's located in Kauai, Hawaii, And the way, well, first of all, if you didn't know the frequencies, so there's the male voice, right? Okay, so the transmission from the Fort Collins, Colorado broadcast is the male voice, which is WWV or WWVB, and there's the other one. I'm trying to think. It's been a while. I think it's WWVH is the transmitter in Hawaii, and that one transmits a female voice. So that's how you would know which one you were listening to or receiving. I just thought that would be an interesting bit of information if you didn't know that. You should be able to pick them up. It's 2.5, 5, and 10. This one we can only get to 2.5. So this one's a little bit off. The tuning is a little bit off. If I get in here, it should be about 2. Oh well, we're looking at the wrong thing. We're at 5. No, we're at 5. We're about 5. I was looking at the Marine. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's about 5. The shortwave only starts at about 3.8 and goes to 12. So we should be able to get 10. Let's see if we can get 10. No. It's interesting though that, you know, years ago you could turn on the shortwave bands and there was just hundreds of stations. As a matter of fact, if you ever pick up an old shortwave receiver like one of the transoceanics and you have those charts and logs that come with them, there's usually lists of the stations that were available at those times. And it's just unbelievable the amount of stations. And now the only thing we got is the time. Anyway, let's see if we got anything on Marine Band. What would you pick up on Marine Band? Oh, that's interesting, whatever that is. The 2.5. You know what? I'm not paying attention today. It is megacycle. I thought it was kilocycle. Okay, so it picks up 2.5. Actually picks up pretty clear. Let's see if it's... The audio carrier is kind of low on that, on 2.5. Oh, it just drifted away. Well, really it's surprising, but not surprising with the cost of running these huge transmitters. that there wouldn't be much on there anyway. But we've done this before. It's a level control. Like you'd have to have it all the way up anyway. On DF.
So 50. Cooper Flag did exit the game in the second
180.
Quarter.
So 180 degrees.
Before the half, but is not on the court to start the third quarter.
Which is south.
After the second quarter, the Kings are up on the Knicks at home, 45 to 30. Leading the way for 13 points. In the first quarter, the Clippers are up on the win, 25 to 15.
Is this station a San Diego station? I think that's what they said.
35 points as the Cavaliers outscored the 76ers 133 to 107, and the Bulls took down the.
He started putting buckets back there.
Streets blocked off here. At times they say, you know, we see ICE agents on this side, come to this side.
We're overloaded.
They're constantly moving around this area.
Now I know what the
trying to
level
oppose
control is
these
for.
agents at this point.
Obviously, this is a local station.
What we see here, we have seen what appears to be tear gas that's been deployed, as well as some flashbangs as well, as this crowd continues to clash with agents in this area.
Let's move this up. That's how you would, again, that's how you would navigate.
Denmark held high-level talks today about President
If you were lost and you wanted to navigate
Trump said
using, say you knew that you could pick up a radio station in the city, at least you can navigate, well, I'm talking about aviation anyway. You can navigate to the city where the radio station or the radio tower is, and maybe you could find your way that way.
Vice President J.D. Vance,
because this is such a strong channel, you definitely want to lower the level control a bit. And then turn the antenna until you get the strongest signal.
We will, however, continue to talk. We have decided to form a high-level
which is right
group to explore if we can find a common way
about
forward.
Iran's top judge indicated trials and
180 degrees.
Government protesters there, as
It's about 180. You can see that about 180 degrees is the loudest signul.
CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tayyab
point the nose towards 180. Well, in this case, you'd have to keep turning the antenna to make sure you're not going off course. But it would be better if it had a meter to show you the direction you're going. But
last Thursday, that young life was cut short.
Iran warns of retaliation.
Let's put it back on radio. More omnidirectional on when you have the internal antenna. You know, it's, I don't know if it's the radio or if it's just the time, but not much noise today. That rate, I think that's the camera. Yeah, see, that's the camera. See if you can. It actually works. It actually works pretty well. The navigation portion. A lot of music channels in.
I'm 76 years old.
I'd love to get a station ID from one of these to see where it's coming from.
Again, está tratando de agarrar el ritmo.
No fine tuning on this radio. I guess you don't need fine tuning, and especially if you're going to use this. This is the fine tuning.
iconic singers, some health issues for months.
There's 2 channels in one right there.
Including here in Las Vegas. The show will go on.
Anyway, let's take a quick look at the inside of this. Again, we can see what the bar antenna looks like for the AM. Yeah, it's pretty decent antenna for AM, and I'm sure long wave is in there too. Or one of these is gonna, I don't know which, probably the shorter one. Look at all these variable capacitors. Yeah, I'd like to take it apart. It's got a Hitachi speaker. Japan. I wonder what year this radio is from. 1.5 watts. There's the switch. There's not much in here. There's really not much. I'd sure like to see inside of this. I wonder, it's got like a little slot here. Yeah, look at that. You can. Look at that. That's the antenna, the bar antenna in there. That's kind of cool, huh? We could just crack it in half so we can prove to people how we're going to glue it together. I had a lot of people like sending me messages saying, I forget what video it was, about trying to tell people about gluing these together. But whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But what I don't know. I was saying about electrical connection, and everybody said, oh, it has nothing to, well, somebody actually said, it has nothing to do with electricity. You know, that's not what I was saying, though. What I was saying was, if you put glue, okay, so it works on a form of magnetics, but if you have one long stick, you have one magnet with a north and a south pole. If you break it in half, now you have a north, a south, a north, and a south. Right? So you have 2 separate magnets. And they have to be touching. If the bar is not touching, it's not going to work properly. It's just, especially, you know, if you have with more, well, if you have one coil or 2 coils or whatever, it's not going to work properly. What I was saying was you could take a resistance measurement on the bar itself, so say the crack was here. If you take a resistance measurement like this, you could see that there's you have a resistance measurement. Now some bars you can't, it's hard to do, you got to kind of get through the surface, but if you could get it pushed together, if you put glue and you have a separation, that's a problem. But if you get it together and it's actually touching, and you can glue on the outside and make sure that this ferrite is touching beneath it, then it's going to have a much better chance of working properly. But anyway, I don't know. If somebody uses super glue and it works, I guess more power to them. Usually, unless it's important, I'm going to wait to see if I can come up with a better solution than, just putting super glue. Because I've had someone actually say to me, well, you can get the super glue off, but I tried, and that super glue doesn't come off that easily. Especially on these, if a ferrite core that's non-porous. I mean, it's very porous, so it's very hard to get it off. Oh, you know why? I didn't realize there's a BFO switch on the back here. I didn't realize that. Does the BFO do anything? Let's see if it actually does anything. Where is it?
On top of that, how are you paying your bills?
Let's go to shortwave. We only had one channel on shortwave. We don't have any sideband transmission. I didn't even know where to look. It does something. I think it would be better to have a variable resistor than a switch, but anyway, I think that's going to be it for this one. This was just, I thought this was kind of a cool thing. Outdated technology, but it still works. I have a couple of other radios that I got with this one. I guess I could show, I have this one, I've got a Viscount. I love saying Viscount. I know it's Viscount. It's not Viscount, it's Viscount. But I guess those radios were made at a time when we were admiring the British, and so you know there was a lot of brand names at that time that had to do with with British nobility. Like actually, there was a brand name Nobility. I remember that one, as a matter of fact. There was Viscount. There was one called Duke. I remember seeing a radio called Duke and another one called Baron, which are all peerage, right? These are different ranks of British nobility, if I'm saying that correctly. Anyway, besides all that mumbo jumbo, let me grab the radio here. So this Viscount, let's move the Hitachi on the floor. This Viscount radio, interesting, it's brand new in the box. So let's take a quick look at this, I guess. Maybe we can do a full video on this radio. We'll, I don't know if it works. I didn't try it to see if it actually works. Let's get the this down so we can get some better views of it, I guess. All right, let's see. All right, there you go. That should be okay. So it's the Quality Leader in Transistor Radios. It's 11 transistor 2-band AM/FM radio. It's a Viscount, pronounced Viscount. But this is the thing. It's got all its paperwork. It's got this ugly piece of paper that's in there, and then this. I don't know what this is. Just like a piece of packing, I guess. This beautiful radio. I mean, it's actually kind of, what is that? It's a headphone. This radio, and it even has that smell. It has like that same, ooh, it's got that leathery smell, like an old leather smell. I mean, but look at that radio. Is that something? That is the shiniest old radio I've ever seen in my life. I think we got lucky on this one too. I don't know. I didn't open it. If there's batteries, you think there are batteries in it? No, there's no batteries in it. I mean, look at that. I don't know what year this is from. Distributed by Consolidated SM Corp. Here's the battery tube. I mean, it's so obvious this thing is brand new. That's made by Toshiba, it looks like. It's got a Toshiba speaker. Anyway, I guess we could throw some batteries in there and see if it actually works. It's the Viscount 11 transistor model 1130. Genuine cowhide. It's cowhide. Oh, it's got two aerials on it. Look at that. What do we need two antennas for? It's just FM, right? Yeah, it's just FM. What do we need two antennas? It's got tone and AFC. AM/FM selector. That's the tune knob. I guess we could see if it works. Let's see if there's anything else in the box. I don't. Just Just like a, what is that? Just, I think it's just a headphone, right? Yeah, it's just a little earphone. Does anybody ever use these earphones? I'll put it back later. Is there anything else in the box? No, it's it. It's the whole thing in the nutshell here. Let's move the papers to the side. Let's put all the packaging back in the box. I don't want to lose it. This is definitely going to go on the shelf. This one is definitely a keeper for at least a little while. Hang on, let's get rid of that for a second. What kind of batteries does this thing take? 4 C batteries. Alright, hang on one second. I'm going to go ahead and grab some C batteries and I'll be right back. Anyway, we're back. We got some C batteries. Let's move this to the side here. We want to keep this radio nice looking. I mean, this radio definitely has a 1960s look. It's ugly, but it's beautiful at the same time, I have to say, only because it's new. It's brand new. I mean, I wonder how many of these are around that are as perfect as this. It's got those wonderful plastic capacitors that usually are bad. Yeah, it's got Toshiba capacitors too, so it sure looks like the Viscount is actually a Toshiba. Let's see if it works. What are the odds that it works? Let's see. Well, we got to put some batteries in it. Let's see. These are some Duracell Quantums. Hopefully these are not the leaky type of Duracells. I don't know if there are any non-leaky type of Duracells. Let's see if it works. Let's pull up the antennas. Let's see. I'm sure the antennas are good because, oh look, they turn. It's kind of interesting that there's 2 antennas on here. Yeah, they both turn. They're both good. I don't know why they wouldn't be good because the radio looks brand new. Oh, it's got like a little tiny ding right there on the handle, unfortunately. We just have to keep our hand over it so you don't see that. Alright, how do you turn it on?
Fresno State Athletics.
Alright, well there you go. It's actually, that's, oh, the pointer is a little sluggish there when you turn the tuning. It needs a little bit of lubrication on there.
Broad daylight, but not. It's
Here for that too.
The Viscount sounds pretty good. It's got a nice sound.
I don't see it happening.
Well, I tell you, the marketing for this radio, they sure wanted you to know it was an AM/FM. It's kind of screaming at you there, huh? AM/FM, 11 transistor. They weren't as proud of the Viscount name, though. It's quite a bit smaller. You'd think it should say Viscount over here and an AM/FM transistor over here, but it wasn't made. I don't. Viscount, obviously, oh, it says it up here too. It says automatic frequency control in a nice script form.
Coach McDaniel, if you're...
For elegance, it adds a little bit of elegance.
Recording Academy to aid music folks in times of need. And Sting is now open 50 items from industry icons to raise money for the cause.
The other radio, the Hitachi, was a bit more sensitive in this one, but this one's not doing too bad.
A lot about just how bold, big chunk of the... $5 cashback bonus on your first tank. That's code SUPPLY.
It's got the civil defense markers on there. Let's see what FM sounds like. That would be the true test of fidelity. Ooh, FM. Oh, it's working.
It's going to taste not good. Horrible.
Her sad seeing her friends and family feel more settled. And that's because they're not chasing what you're chasing.
It's very clear. Yeah, when you get to right about here on the dial, the pointer gets a little sticky, so this is going to need a little bit of help. It's working still, but I could see like it kind of goes off kilter a little bit as you're turning it.
Starts in my toes, makes me crinkle my nose wherever it goes.
Anyway, I thought I would share that with you. Again, it's ugly, but it's beautiful in its own way because it's new. You know, how many of these you're going to find today that are in this pristine condition? Who would have kept this radio? I don't think this is any kind of a collector's thing, so I wonder what year. We'll have to look it up. If anybody knows, it's a model 1130, model 1130. If anybody knows what year this was made, I'd appreciate that. I'm really curious. I'm really curious to know what year this is made. This radio has an extremely strong leather smell. Extremely strong. So this is definitely real, genuine leather. I was trying to see how big the speaker was because it has pretty decent fidelity, and so we know that's not a small. You really can't see it, but it's kind of covered by something, so you can't see it. But I'm assuming that speaker is probably at least a 4-inch. And these transformers are not tiny, but they're not, you know, they've got a good size for what it is. And I just realized something. Look at the audio output transistors. Those they're on a heat sink. You know, so that shows that this is going to be putting out a bit of power. The speaker shows that it's 0.6 watts, but I'm going to assume that with good batteries in there, that may be closer to a watt. I don't know what transistors, I can't see what they are, but it's definitely a push-pull, and it's on a heat sink. You don't really see that too often. All original parts, all original caps, and even these little green plastic ones, all original, and it still works fine. Goes to show you sometimes, you know, that if they just stay unused, they just maintain themselves. If they've never had voltage to them. I did notice the capacitor in there, the tuning cap, is kind of a little more modern, tiny little, what do you call that? The wafer type, you know, the little plastic wafer, and not the banana slicer type that I really like. Something about radios, when I see those big banana slicer open air capacitors, I just love those radios that have that. And these work fine, I guess, but I did come across a few of these that something internally in there had given way and these just stopped working. Really good, really nice, really nice. Look at that chassis in there, that circuit board. All phenolic board. This is, I can't get over that these, they're on a heat sink, on a pretty heavy piece of metal too. Oh well, very good, very nice. Anyway, I thought I would share this with you. I thought this is pretty cool. The fact that it's brand new, we got all the box and the papers and everything with it. The antennas aren't broken. There it is right there. The Viscount. It's got 2 headphone jacks. And that's about it. There's really not much to this one. Tone, AFC, AM, FM, 11 transistor. And that's it. And it says it again on the top. The old Viscount. Alright. That's enough messing around. Alright. Well, that's it for now. We got a bunch more radios, and I don't know what works, what doesn't, but we got some more new stuff too. I'm going to do another video. I got a couple of Sonys that are brand new in the box that we're going to go, and those again from maybe the 60s. I'm assuming this radio is from the 1960s. We'll have to go through those. Those I think will be pretty interesting too. And then we got a lot more that need repair. A lot more insects and bugs and garbage and mouse pee and all that good stuff. Alright. I appreciate everybody watching. Everybody that leaves comments. I really do appreciate it. I'm just doing this for fun. There's no money involved. I don't make money on any of this. So people that leave me kind words, I really do appreciate it. It really makes me feel good, and it makes this all worthwhile. There are, there's always a few that just don't seem to get it, but whatever, I get it. That's the thing. I get it. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for tuning in to me and listening to me blab along. And tune in again, and we're going to get some more. We got a lot of cool stuff we'll go through, and we'll do some more DXing stuff. We got to pick these good nights. Like tonight seems like a good night, so maybe I'll do another one later on, and we'll do some DX videos later on. It seems like a good night for that for some reason. Anyway, thanks again, everybody. I really do appreciate it. You guys and girls are the best. Just take care of yourselves. Be good to each other. And I'll see you on the next one. So long. Bye-bye.